Truth, we thank you for coming on. We'd love to have you back on again later, and we want to make sure everybody goes. If you're looking to be a professional wrestler, the place to go is the House of Truth, HotWrestling.com.
HotWrestlingSchool.com.
HotWrestlingSchool.com.
Yep. Hey, do you guys got a minute for a little road story? I know everybody loves road stories.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. A road story that always sticks into my head, and the only reason it popped into my head because I was reading an interview of Alex Shelley's the other day, and he actually mentioned the story, which I think is a great one. Me, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Jimmy Jacobs, this is when we were going to IWA Mid-South for a while, and always we would get stuck probably 4 hours into the trip at traffic where it was just dead stop. So the cars weren't moving. So I started, like when you're just sitting in the car, you start going a little stir crazy. So I started this one thing where we're just sitting in the car. All of a sudden, I open up the car door and I pull Chris Sabin out of the car, and we just start working right there. And people get out of the cars like, oh my God, these two people are killing each other. And like he would charge me, I'd backdrop him on the trunk of the car and all that kind of stuff. And we just did that pretty much to entertain ourselves. So what happened one day was we did a show in Lima, Ohio, and then we went to an Arby's and we ate. And I met a girl, actually, in Arby's, so I went back in the car, and everybody was still inside eating. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and she's in the passenger seat of my car, and we're just talking, and I'm trying to be a little, smooth, put the moves on her a little bit. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Chris Sabin flies through the back window all the way into the front seat. He broke through the window into the front seat, and he's sitting there, and he lands right between us, and I look at him, he goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Him and Alex Shelley were doing what we used to do, except they did it a little wrong. Alex Shelley backdropped Chris Sabin, and he flew through the back window of my car and ended up in the front seat with me and the girl right between us. It was ridiculous. We were cracking. Sure, I was a little pissed at first, but then when it just all set in, we laughed all the way home. And it was 2.5 hours to drive home from Lima, Ohio. And, of course, we had to drive with no back window. And guess what? It did start raining, too.
Truth, I've got to ask you, were you able to close the deal with the lady?
Actually, she got really shooken up and just left. So yeah, couldn't close the deal that night. No.
Yeah, I was more upset about that than the window. That he could have fixed. He could have paid for.
Yep, but I swear it was something out of a movie. I mean, I'm in the driver's seat, she's in the passenger seat, and we're looking at each other. I'm trying to throw her one of those sexy smiles or whatever, and then you just hear this loud crash, and Sabin ends up right in the middle of us, right between us. I was just like, oh my God, that was crazy.
That's pretty funny there.
Yeah.
You got to call her. Maybe it's that lady from the car. Let's see who this caller is. Hello, you're on Hit the Ropes Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Dan.
What's going on, Dan?
I have a question. I'm actually planning on becoming a professional wrestler, and I'm trying to think of what school to pick. Here in Pittsburgh, there's the NWA East Academy, and that's where Kurt Angle trained. But the thing about Kurt Angle is he's already looked at gold medalist, and he already had the whole background of wrestling. So but then about 7 hours away near Philly, there's the Ring of Honor Academy, which is also, I thought, was a pretty good choice. So, how to, pick a school?
Well, I know Delirious does the training there. Delirious, or what's the other guy's name? Who's the one that does the training right now at Ring of Honor? Do you know?
I'm drawing a blank.
Last I remember, I know Delirious was doing the training there. And who's the one that does it at NWA, the one that you were talking about? Who's the trainer there?
I'm not sure. I think it's, I remember it's one of the guys who runs the company. It used to be Sean Evans, but Sean Evans died 2 years ago, so I'm not sure who it is.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, like I said, don't be afraid to ask questions because there's no such thing as a stupid question. Call up the schools and ask them everything, anything you can think of. You know, ask who's training there. Ask them, once you get done training, what can you guys guarantee me? You know, ask them, you know, how many students have you had that have made it somewhere? And, you know, and just to see what kind of history and background they got. Yes, you said Kurt Angle came out of there, but, you know, Kurt Angle was also something special to begin with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, and then, like, with the Ring of Honor school, I'm sure that because it's their school, once you get finished there, again, it's not that you're guaranteed a match once you're done there. You have to have something also, but most likely you'll probably have a good chance to probably work for Ring of Honor if you go to the Ring of Honor school. You know what I mean? And just, you just got to weigh all that out and just make a choice that way.
Because I never really want to work for like WWE. I've always wanted to be like on the indie circuit, you know, wrestle for like places like Ring of Honor or Pro Wrestling Guerrilla or those kind of places.
You said you wouldn't want to work for the WWE?
Well, I mean, because I know it's such a long shot. Like, I wouldn't want to, like, you know, that'd be a nice goal. That'd be a nice thing to do, but it'd just be, I think it'd be, like, it's better, like, to tell myself, oh, it's not, I'm not going to have a great chance getting WWE, but, like, I could pretty much obviously get, like, Ring of Honor or PWG.
Dude, you got to strive for the top, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Seriously, don't ever cut yourself short, because if everybody had, and I'm not saying, you know, you have a bad thought process or anything, but I'm just saying if everybody thought that way, nobody would make it, you know, anywhere. Don't ever sell yourself short, because you never know. You haven't been to wrestling school yet. Maybe you can pick it up. You know, maybe you're natural. Who knows? You know, maybe you have promo skills. Because to make it in the wrestling business, you have to have these qualities. And listen to me really quick. One, you have to have a look, okay? Because nobody wants to pay to look at the guy next door. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Two, you have to have charisma. Sometimes charisma isn't taught. It's something that's natural. You have to be charismatic. You have to captivate people's attentions. Three is you have to know how to talk. Because all the guys in this business that have made real money, and I mean real money, they've all known how to talk on the microphone. And then four, of course, is you have to know how to work. Work means you have to know how to wrestle. Those four things, if you have those four things, you will make it very far in this wrestling business. And a lot of people, you know, they have probably 3 of the 4 or 2 of the 4, and some of them get lucky just on etiquette alone. I mean, and make sure the school that you go to teaches proper etiquette, because that can make or break you really, really quick. You can be like the best guy in the ring, but if your etiquette is wrong, ain't nobody going to want to work with you. And a lot of schools, they actually fail to teach that part, is the proper etiquette. And if you have bad etiquette when you're trying to get a job somewhere, it can make you look like a fool, and you get kicked out of the place so quick. It's not even funny. But yeah, again, ask all the questions. You know, call up both the schools and bug them. Even if you have to call them 10 times in 1 week and say, I have another question. If they get frustrated, oh well, you know, that's their problem. You know, just again, because to go to the right school is a very, very important decision. It is so important. So yeah, so just ask questions. Definitely. From the 2 schools that you mentioned, the only one I'm more familiar with is the Ring of Honor one.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar with the other one. Oh, no problem. My pleasure.
Okay. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Dan. All right. Really, really insightful interview. We even got somebody in the chat room, you know, said how great, you know, HOT is. I guess they've been around or heard of you. You know, he's there saying House of Truth is a good wrestling school. So you've got a little following already on the HTR.
Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I put my heart and my soul into it, and to all my students, that's what I pass along to them. You know, if whoever my student is, if they're going to give me their all, I'm going to give them my all. And hopefully one day, you know, they make a living and fulfill their dream of becoming a professional wrestler that they can make a living at. And that's all we're trying to do here.
It was great having you on, Truth.
It was my pleasure. Anytime.
As Darius said, we've got to get you on in the future. We've got to get Demetrius over there with a video camera.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, again, thanks for having me, and you guys have a good night.
You have a good one, too.
Okay, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies, that was Truth Martini, trainer of House of Truth Wrestling School. can hit him up on the web. You know, he's got the website, hotwrestlingschool.com.